From cathedrals to mosques, mapping the great spiritual migration of the North. From the towering cathedrals of Europe to the growing number of mosques across northern cities, something remarkable is happening. For centuries, church bells defined the spiritual rhythm of the North. Massive cathedrals stood as symbols of faith, tradition, and identity. But today, a quiet transformation is unfolding. In countries like Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and Finland, thousands of people are exploring Islam and some are choosing to embrace it. Why is this happening? What is driving people in historically Christian societies to search for a new spiritual path? Is it a cultural shift, a spiritual awakening, or something deeper? Today, we will explore the fascinating story behind what some observers call the great spiritual migration of the North. From cathedrals to mosques, mapping the great spiritual migration of the North across northern Europe, religion is changing in ways that few predicted only a few decades ago. For hundreds of years, Christianity dominated the spiritual and cultural life of the region. Majestic churches and cathedrals shaped city skylines, while Christian traditions influenced laws, holidays, and daily life. However, in the modern era, religious identity in the North has evolved dramatically. Many historic churches now see declining attendance, while new mosques and Islamic centers are slowly becoming part of the social landscape. This transformation is not simply about buildings. It reflects a deeper search for meaning, identity, and spiritual belonging. The historical role of cathedrals in Northern Europe. In cities like Stockholm, Copenhagen, and Oslo, cathedrals once served as the heart of public life. These grand structures represented centuries of Christian heritage and cultural continuity. Faith was not only a personal belief, it was a shared identity. Yet, in recent decades, many European societies have experienced rapid secularization. Church attendance has declined, and younger generations often describe themselves as non-religious. While spirituality has not disappeared, the way people approach faith has changed significantly. The rise of secularism. Northern Europe is often considered one of the most secular regions in the world. In countries like Sweden and Denmark, large portions of the population identify culturally as Christian, but rarely participate in religious practices. This shift has created a spiritual vacuum for some individuals. People still ask the same timeless questions. What is the purpose of life? What happens after death? How should we live morally? For many, modern secular culture does not always provide satisfying answers. As a result, some individuals begin exploring different spiritual traditions, including Islam. The growing presence of Islam in the North. Over the past few decades, Muslim communities have grown in Northern Europe through immigration, international study, and cultural exchange. Mosques, Islamic centers, and community organizations have gradually become part of urban life. Cities like Malmö, Helsinki, and Gothenburg now host vibrant Muslim communities. This presence has introduced many Europeans to Islamic traditions, culture, and philosophy for the first time. Sometimes that introduction sparks curiosity, and curiosity often leads to exploration. A personal search for spiritual meaning. One of the strongest motivations behind conversion is the personal search for meaning. Many individuals describe feeling spiritually lost in highly materialistic societies. Islam offers a structured spiritual path that includes 5 daily prayers, fasting during Ramadan, charity and community responsibility, a strong connection with God. These practices provide rhythm, discipline, and purpose in everyday life. For many converts, this structured approach to spirituality feels deeply fulfilling. The power of the Quran. Another common turning point for many converts is reading the Quran. Some begin reading it simply to understand Islam better. But during that process, many describe feeling profoundly moved by its message. The Quran addresses themes such as justice, mercy, patience, responsibility, and the purpose of human existence. For some readers, its message feels direct and powerful. This experience has inspired many individuals across Northern Europe to explore Islam more seriously. Learning about Prophet Muhammad. Another important influence is studying the life of Muhammad. Many people first encounter Islam through media narratives that can sometimes be incomplete or controversial. However, when individuals study the historical biography of the Prophet, they often discover a leader known for honesty, compassion, patience, forgiveness, social justice. This historical perspective inspires many people who are searching for ethical leadership and moral clarity. Community and belonging. Modern life in large cities can sometimes feel isolating. Despite living among millions of people, many individuals struggle with loneliness. Islamic communities often emphasize strong bonds of brotherhood and sisterhood. Mosques function not only as places of worship, but also as social and charitable centers where people support each other. For many converts, the sense of belonging within the Muslim community becomes a powerful and life-changing experience. Women and the question of identity. Interestingly, a significant number of converts in Europe are women. Many of them say they were attracted to Islam's emphasis on modesty, dignity, and spiritual equality before God. Practices such as wearing the hijab are sometimes embraced by converts as expressions of identity and faith. For them, it represents a personal choice connected to spirituality and self-respect. The role of knowledge and education. Universities across Europe have also contributed to growing awareness of Islamic civilization. Students studying philosophy, history, and science often encounter the works of famous Muslim scholars, such as Ibn Sina al-Ghazali. These scholars made major contributions to philosophy, medicine, and ethics. Learning about this intellectual heritage sometimes challenges stereotypes and inspires deeper interest in Islamic thought. A complex cultural transformation. The spiritual landscape of Northern Europe is evolving. This transformation does not mean that Christianity is disappearing, nor that everyone is converting to Islam. Instead, it reflects a broader cultural shift in how people think about religion and spirituality. Individuals today have greater access to information, travel, and cultural exchange than ever before. As a result, many people are exploring different belief systems before choosing their spiritual path. The story of From Cathedrals to Mosques is not simply about religion. It is about the human search for meaning. Across Northern Europe, individuals are asking deep questions about faith, purpose, morality, and identity. Some remain secular, some rediscover Christianity, and others find their spiritual home in Islam. What we are witnessing is a dynamic moment in the history of religion in Europe, one shaped by curiosity, dialogue, and personal journeys of faith. And as the world becomes more connected, these spiritual conversations will likely continue to grow. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative and meaningful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.